evening, everyone. My name is Keribrewster, aka Casey Paleo Girl. I am a 21-day sugar detox certified coach, as well as a Czech Institute level 1 certified holistic life coach. And I am going to talk just briefly, like super briefly, because I have an event that I'm going to tonight, and I'm not dressed for it yet, so I'll wait just a couple minutes while everybody... Hi, Laura. Is it Laura or Laura? Like, I feel like sometimes I'm getting those confused, and I have a sister-in-law named Laura, so I just automatically assumed it was Laura, and it could be Laura. Anyway, hi, Kim. Hi, everybody. Hope everyone has had a wonderful weekend. Got lots of good rest and are ready for the week ahead, or if you're like me, oh, thanks for sharing. Or if you're like me, you worked your day job and then came. Excellent. All right. Thank you. So you work your day job and then you come home, and over the weekend, then you work your other job that you hope to become your primary job. Oh, and my cat is deciding it's time for attention. Let's see what happens. Okay, so because I'm really short on time, I'm just going to get right to it. I have been reading this book right here called The Power of Me, and I'm trying to not cover my microphone. The Power of Me, Army of One by my boy, Cornell Thomas. Even though it's a very short read, I am taking the time to really digest it and take each chapter slowly so that because I tend to be a power reader. I don't know if any of you were raised in the late 70s, early 80s, but they were all about speed reading, and somehow if you could read fast, that made you more intelligent, regardless of whether your comprehension was up to speed with that or not. But that was me. I was a speed reader. I could read a 100-page book in a day. I mean, it was actually less than that. Really just a few hours, but that's neither here nor there. So, 3 steps. So I'm reading, and the second chapter of this book was actually called Active Dreaming. And again, if you're just joining me, I am Keribrewster. I am also known as Casey Paleo Girl on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the social media sites. And I'll be talking about 3 steps to help you get toward the direction of your dreams. So, I'm just going to say them, and then we can talk about them. Okay, so first you have to define, where do I want to go, right? So that's sitting down and figuring out your purpose. Is that to become an entrepreneur? Is that to be a better mother? Is that to travel the world? Just what is that goal that you're working towards? And then that second step would naturally, well, then how do we get there? And that's your goal setting. So that's your SMART goals, baby steps, things of that nature that you set to, yeah, absolutely, yeah. If you don't know how to get there, you can dream all you want, but you gotta have a plan to get there, right? Otherwise, it's just daydreaming, right? And you will be just as stuck in 3, 6, 9, 12 months from now as you were when you first started. Hi, Mama. That's my mama. So that's definitely the plan. And then, the third step, I don't know if anybody of you kind of know where I'm going with this. If you've seen enough self-help, you probably figured this out. Do the work. You know what you want to do. You know the steps to get there. Step 3 is do the work. What is happening over here? Oh my goodness, you guys. Hold on. Look at this. My silly cat has gone on my dresser. Sorry. I have squirrel syndrome. Do the work. I mean, that's kind of all there is to it. So let me give you some mini steps in those 3 macro steps, right? Yeah, right. Hi, kitty. And he's my big Maine Coon. So how do you know where you want to go? Well, I say, what do you want? Meaning, like for me, it's, I want to help other people see their potential. Well, that's pretty broad, right? So you gotta kind of narrow it down a little bit, and I have decided that I'm going to do that on a this is awesome since I'm getting ready to speak in a little while, a multi-dimensional level, right? So through the use of essential oils, through the use of a better diet, and exercise, movement, things of that nature, and also just through coaching them on what they want out of life. So that is my what do I want. So then my second question I ask once I figure out what do I want is why do I want it? And the answer to that question will propel you through the other steps. I guarantee it, especially if it's the correct why. Now, if it's, if it's haphazard, or if it's what you think somebody else wants you to hear. Oh, excuse me for a second. There we go. My cat has decided it's time to leave the bedroom. So anyway, sorry about that. That's not too distracting. There we go. I'll go against this blank wall here. So anyway, so once you figure out that really strong why, that why that's so strong, it bubbles up emotion in you, then you're ready. You write that down, and like here, I'll show you guys this. Oops, let's see if I can get, it says I can double tap. Let's see. Oh, there we go. All right, so I don't know if y'all can see this. This is my Live Infused, my ULA surfboard. I just told you guys I went to Ula Palooza, and if you'll notice, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I lost a goal? No, there's 7. Okay. Anyway, hi guys. So that's my visual reminder of where I want to go, and also how I want to get there, right? So that could be, I've heard people do vision boards. I've heard people, set goals in their like Google Calendar or iCalendar, that sort of thing. It can just be however it is that you can hold yourself accountable. Obviously, an accountability partner is key also, because you can have all these dreams and you can have all these steps, but if you don't have someone checking in on you, you're pretty much going to Netflix binge within a week. Trust me, I know. And you're going to be like, oh yeah, I can do that whenever I get all the time in the world. But when you have that accountability and you have that person checking in on you, it keeps you on task, right? Because you know that person is going to be calling you, or they're going to come visit you, and what are you going to have to show for it? And have you move closer in the direction of your dreams? So that's your what and your why. That's part of your first step. And then the second one is, get down into the nitty gritty, your baby steps, your SMART goals. And if you're not familiar with what SMART goals are, they're specific, measurable, achievable. Ooh, somebody help me out with the R. And then, anyway, wow, for some reason I blanked on the R and T. But essentially what they are is they're goals that, like, say you want to lose realistic, thank you, time-based, right? T is time-based. Got it. Okay, so specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-based. And I think there's different iterations, I think, on the M's and the A's, but that's how I learned it. So let's say your goal is to lose 30 pounds. So a specific goal is I will lose 30 pounds by December 31st. Now, I'm not saying do that. I mean, to me, it's not unrealistic, but it's kind of unrealistic, and it's pushing the boundaries of what's healthy. So anyway, so then your baby steps, it's just like, okay, so I have this goal of I want to lose 30 pounds by December 31st. So what mini actions do you want to take to get to that bigger goal of losing those 30 pounds? I'm going to walk in a gym. Then the next day, maybe I walk in the gym and say hello to the guy at the membership booth, and say I'll be back tomorrow to sign up for my gym membership, right? And then the next day you go and you inquire about personal training or fitness classes, and then that next day you come in and you work out on some equipment, or you attend a class, right? And you just keep taking those baby steps, and then you do that maybe 1 day a week, and then the next day you do it 2 days a week, or next week you do it 2 days a week, and the next week it's 3 days a week, and 4 days a week, and so on. And so then you've got that dialed in, and so now maybe you need to look at diet. Maybe you've been working out like a champ and you're on your way to looking like Schwarzenegger, but you're still eating at McDonald's, right? So let's say you're eating out 3 nights a week. So maybe a good baby step would be on Monday, instead of going out to, oh, it's so true, isn't it, Angelique? And it's a step that a lot of people struggle with. So that's why I'm trying to be as specific as I can on those, because it was something I struggled with for a long, long time. But yeah, so let's say you eat McDonald's, or just eat out, period. It could even be Chipotle, okay? Come on, let's be real. 3 times a week for lunch, right? So you say, all right, so on Monday, instead of going to Chipotle, going to McDonald's, name your poison, instead of going out, I'm going to cook extra of the dinner the night before, and I'm going to take those leftovers with me to work, right? I'm going to then it'll be 2 nights a week that I'm going out. And so then the next week, it's 1 night a week. And then after that, maybe you cook all your meals at home. I mean, that kind of thing, right? It can be that simple, and it has to be something that you can follow, right? For me, that's about how I would do it. And so now at this point, you've got your movement dialed in, and you've got your diet dialed in. But maybe you're still struggling with those, what I call the 9 o'clock munchies. So then you're sitting there watching TV, and you're like, oh my gosh, I could use some chips or some Hershey's Kisses, whatever, right? So maybe that first time you say, instead of taking the bag with you, maybe you look at why. Why do I want these chips? Is it because I'm bored? Is it because I'm hungry? Is it because I'm angry, lonely, or tired, right? Hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. I think it's called the HALT system. I love that one. And it basically, you halt your mind, and before you mindlessly go for that bag of chips or those Hershey's Kisses, you stop and you say, is it because of these 4 things? And if it is, then you halt. You don't do it, right? Yes, triggers are so, so important. And actually, you kind of helped me lead into that next one. Journaling, especially food journaling, when you're trying to lose weight or get healthier, is so key, because it will help you, and especially with a mindset component in there, which is kind of one of the things I like about the 21-day sugar detox journal part of the program. I don't think a lot of people use that, but I think more people should, because it not only says, okay, this is what I had for breakfast, afternoon for lunch, and for dinner, but it also says, there's an expanded one where you can say, how did I feel when I was eating this before? And it has that mindset component to it, right? So in my case, when I was dealing with emotional eating, it really helped me pinpoint, yeah. And there's a lot of people that need to do that. I can't tell you the number of people I know that could totally benefit from it. But that, sometimes, you can offer it to them, and if they refuse, you just have to say, okay, well, and move on and kind of model it for them after that, if that makes sense. Because I know my husband wasn't completely on board when I first made changes. I mean, he was a farm kid, right? Nice. Yeah, and absolutely, that's the other thing, moderation, once you've kind of got your health dialed in, I think is definitely a good thing, right? Like, now for me, it has to be gluten-free cake, right? I mean, not only have I made the decision to keep gluten out of my life, but I also can't. It's not worth the risk to me, to my health, and to how I feel. But yeah, I think what you were trying to say there is, oh, perfect. Yeah, definitely have him get in contact with me. I can help him. But yeah, where was I? Oh, right. So for me, and I think in anything, moderation is key, because I think especially if you get into an I can't mindset or I'm deprived mindset, when you're trying to reach a goal, it's a blocker. You will stop. But if you change that verbiage, especially the verbiage in your own head, which again is kind of part of that mindset, to it's not that I can't, I choose not to. And you think about, and then that goes back to your why, right? Like, why do I want to lose these 30 pounds by December 31st? Maybe it's because you want to look smoking hot in your New Year's Eve dress, or, maybe you just want to look good naked. It's whatever your why is. And if it's strong enough, it won't matter. It'll propel you in the other directions. So that's kind of baby steps, and then do the work. I mean, you've got your plan. You know where you're going, and you know where you ultimately want to end up. So do the work, right? look at your goals, and if it's helpful to you, do like what I did and put them somewhere where you see them every day, or pop-ups on your phone if you have your phone with you all the time. But just do the work, right? And remember, oh, okay, have a good night. Thank you for coming. So that's really it. I mean, unless you guys have any questions, I really got to scoot. But I don't know if you guys are familiar with the ULA guys at all, but they have this thing called 20 Seconds of Courage. And it's this thing where when you're about to do something that kind of gives you those butterflies, and like for me, it's public speaking, which I'm about to do in a little while. And no, I'm not wearing this, but it's taking those 20 seconds and saying, okay, this is where I'm at, but I'm going to do it. And then boom, it's that 20-second decision to just do it. So anyway, does anyone have any questions? And while I'm waiting for y'all to type up questions, thoughts, comments on that, oh, again, let me show you the book that has inspired all this loveliness. Called The Power of Me by Cornell Thomas. This gentleman right here. Like I've said before, if you don't follow him here on Periscope, I suggest you do that. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at kcpaleogirl, and of course on here as well. Sorry, I thought I heard the cat trying to get in. So, alright, well, does anybody have any questions? Thoughts, comments, critiques? Alright, guys, I gotta split. You all have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you again soon. Thanks, Angelique. You do too. I can't wait to see you in a couple weeks. Woohoo! Bye, everyone.